there was a child is to see your husband look at you and don't have any answers for your pain. It's the dream that ended before it should.
Every morning when you wake up, there are like 3 or 4 seconds before you get your conscience back from the sleep. You say,
It was a dream?
is it a dream? Is it real? And you understand that this is your new life.
This is Merav and Menashe Ram. On October 7th, 2023, their life turned upside down. Their 28-year-old son, Omri, was supposed to be having the time of his life at the Nova Nature Party in southern Israel. But at 6:30 a.m., they received the first of several devastating calls. Instead of dancing, Omri and his 2 friends were desperately trying to escape the rave. Hamas terrorists had infiltrated the peaceful event, gunning down everyone in their path after launching thousands of rockets into Israel.
The second call was at 7:20. He said, look, Dad, we are still in the festival area. Some injured people coming back, and I don't know why they are, so we're stopping to help them. And the third call was around 8:30, where they were all in his car. The connection fell. Around 11 o'clock was the last message that we sent. Later we understood that he was shot while driving. He probably was dead very quickly because of his injury.
Around 2 p.m., a family friend named Shai made the brave decision to drive to the site of their car, using the live location that they had shared from their phones. There, he encountered a devastating sight. Omri and his friends had been murdered in cold blood. Shai quickly made the choice to take their bodies back to a local hospital. It was this decision that has forever changed the course of their future.
Around 6 o'clock, we said goodbye to Omri. He was smiling. With his beautiful smile. And we asked his forgiveness. And then we asked to donate his organs. And at the same time, we asked to do that, the head of the social department there. She suddenly asked us if we want to do the procedure of sperm extraction. And we immediately said yes.
We knew that Omri wanted to be a father, so in that moment we thought, yeah, we're continuing his wish.
This may sound like a strange request, but it isn't in Israel. Today, scientific advances have made it so that sperm can be collected for up to 48 hours after someone has passed away. Usually, doctors do so by surgically removing the testicles and harvesting sperm cells. The process has triggered ethical dilemmas across the world. But since 2003, Israel has allowed for sperm to be retrieved from fallen soldiers. And following the horrific terror attacks carried out by Hamas on October 7th, the service is also being offered to civilians who were murdered in the violence. In the last decade, there have been numerous instances of parents donating their son's sperm to single women who want to have a baby. It's a process that has brought hope to many grieving families, including Merav and Menashe.
There was a light in this terrible dark. The hope that there will be a continuity for Omri and that he will be a father.
You say, okay, so it's not over. You see the opportunity to have a grandchild, a little girl, to take on Omri's board and to go with her to the sea and to surf with her on his board.
Decided it will be a girl.
It's this dream that's driving forward the Ram family, but it's not a simple one to achieve. For the last few years, certain Israeli lawmakers have been pushing forward a bill to streamline the process by getting the consent of male civilians and soldiers to have their sperm retrieved in the case of death. so that their families have the opportunity to one day use it to have grandchildren if necessary. The issue is what happens to all of the families whose sons have been killed prior to the passing of this bill. Like Mirav and Menashe, most don't have clear proof that their sons would have wanted kids after dying, and the Israeli government is asking them to provide it. So now they're coming together as a united force to make a change.
ואם אתם רוצים ללכת, זה ביחד. וביחד אף אחד לא יעצור אותנו, כי אנחנו נתנו הכל למדינת ישראל.
Today, 47 bereaved families have gathered in a hotel in Tel Aviv to discuss what they need to do to get this law passed. Prior to the start of the Israel-Hamas war on October 7th, there were about 20 families who were in the process of trying to have grandchildren through their fallen son's sperm. But now there are over 120. Every single parent in this room lost their son to violence perpetrated on October 7th or in the fighting afterwards.
המטרה של היום, לשתף את ההורים בסטטוס של החוק, ללכד אותם ולעשות כל מאמץ משותף כדי שהחוק הזה ימומש ונצליח לתת אור בכל כך הרבה בתים.
Some of the families here have been fighting this fight for years on end, like this father who lost his son named Yuval 6.5 years ago.
התהליך הוא לא פשוט, התהליך שלהם, ואני רוצה להיות אופטימי איתכם, התהליך לא פשוט. הוא אפשרי. התהליך הזה אפשרי, ואני אומר לכם, עד אותו יום לפני 6.5 שנים הייתי בן אדם אחר, היום אני בן אדם אחר. אף אחד פה לא נשאר אותו דבר. ואתם יודעים את זה טוב, אתם תדעו את זה עוד יותר טוב הצעירים. צריך להיות חזקים.
Despite what appears to be overwhelming support, these families are still facing a serious barrier.
Now we need to prove that he wanted a child after he died. We had a lot of talks with Umri about kids. He loves kids, and he said all the time, no, you're not moving to Tel Aviv because we want my child to run here in this beautiful garden.
And what about the other families who did not discuss anything about their kids? What do they want us to do? To try to look for evidence, how to prove to court that younger kids that didn't know and understand the situation, that went to fight or went to the festival to party, and the country didn't protect them, should know in advance that something will happen and tell someone that they would like to have continuity. It is unacceptable.
Even if these families are able to provide the proof that the Israeli legal system is requiring, going through with the process of having a grandchild will still be a lengthy one. According to the bill, families will need to find a woman who's willing to use the sperm of their fallen son to have a baby, because they won't be allowed to raise the grandchild for ethical reasons. The mother of the baby will be in charge of every decision. Grandma and Grandpa will exist as Grandma and Grandpa. But that sounds like a good enough deal to these grieving families.
We will find our new way. We have a tree here in the forest for Omri that our neighbor planted. And in this tree we see new leaves. And in every leaf there is a picture of Omri. And we see him, we see us.
We see a smile. Big smile.
And we will surely find our way. It will be a new one. It will not be the old one. We will be waiting for the grandchild.
To serve with her.
Yes.